the Vegas Golden Knights honestly have a pretty good setup at the goalie position, and although Leonard has been playing at a very good level with the Vegas Golden Knights, when healthy, I think it's Logan Thompson's time to, get his chance. And in this video, we're going to be talking about why Logan Thompson deserves his chance to actually start for this Vegas Golden Knights team, and not just because of some injuries. So there's a couple ways that you can kind of look at this, not only just like in what he's done so far, but also in kind of what works best for this Vegas Golden Knights team. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really means the world to me. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this. Why Logan Thompson deserves his chance to start for this team. Now, Logan Thompson was shoved into a really tough spot last year, and he ends up keeping the Golden Knights in some really important games. Now, the reason why he ends up getting shoved into things was because of a lot of injury issues pertaining to the, starting pairing for the Golden Knights last year. You have Leonard, who was playing at a very good level when healthy, but ends up getting injured a couple different times during this season, whether it was his neck, his shoulder, whatever it may be. He ends up missing quite a bit of time, as well as Laurent Brossoit, who missed time as well. And although I don't think he really deserves a lot of time with this team, it still seems that him, Laurent Brossoit, and Logan Thompson appear to be kind of splitting minutes for the most part, and I just don't really believe in that. Now, not only did Logan Thompson keep the Vegas Golden Knights in games, but when Thompson was in the net, he was playing as one of the top goalies in the entire league. So it wasn't just like compared to the other goalies on the team that he was doing well against, but against the entire team. Not only that, but talking about the team by itself, Logan Thompson was number one in goals against average and save percentage for the entire team. And although he didn't play as many games as Leonard did, it's still, really good to see those stats over any period of time, especially since it wasn't like he played two really good games. He played a solid amount of games throughout the whole year and had good percentages throughout. In 19 games, which is about a quarter of the year, Logan Thompson played a key role in the Knights winning with a 2.68 goals against average, and for reference, that is 23rd in the entire league. So that goes with, your 30 starting goalies for each team. I believe now 31 actually, or is it 32? I'm so mixed up. I think it's 32 now because of Seattle, and Vegas was 31. So yeah, I believe 32, and he was 23rd in your goals against average, as well as a 914 save percentage, which was tied for 17th in the league. And he was doing that against some very tough competition in very high pressure scenarios at the end of the year, with, a defense that was not cutting him any slack, and an offense that wasn't scoring goals to take pressure off of him, even when he was having a bad night or two at, any time during the year. And not only that, but he was doing extremely well late in the year for just in general in every single game, but as well as in the shootout. He was doing so well in shootouts, which is a one-on-one scenario, which a lot of goalies don't do well in. And he was doing incredible, and because of his offense not being able to score, he ends up letting some in, which only brings down his save percentage that much more. Now, not only did he have some great stats, but the team had a winning record when he was playing, which was, a huge thing, especially with the Vegas Golden Knights teeter-tottering on that wild card spot at the time. And although Vegas did end up missing out by a game or two, it was not because of the fault of Logan Thompson. Like mentioned, the shootout, there was multiple games, 3 back-to-back-to-back, in which Vegas didn't score in the shootout once, which would have been enough to get them into the playoffs. And they didn't score a single time on 17 shots. So it's not like they end up missing because of Logan Thompson. And, Thompson started really, really well. If I remember correctly, he had like a 10-5 record in the regulation, which, is a 2-to-1 ratio, which is really good, as well as 4 losses in overtime, including those 3 shootout losses. So as a whole, yes, he had a 10-9 record, which isn't great. It's still a winning record, which is very good. But in regulation, he was 10-5, and he loses 3 in a shootout, which there's no reason that you should lose 3 shootouts back to back to back. But you do have to look at it. The truth is he was 10-9, win 2 loss. But he looked really good for the most part during regulation and just throughout the entire thing. 10-5 in regulation is better than anyone else on this roster at the goalie position, and better than a lot of goalies in the entire league. Now, I believe that he's going to start this season very hot, which is a big key factor and why I think he should get the look for the most part for a good portion of the year. With both Robin Leonard and Laurent Brossoit having injury issues last year and both being injured currently and potentially missing the start of the season, Thompson may be the starter for a long stretch at the start of the year, at least getting the nod for 75 to 80% of the games for the first 10 to 20 games potentially, which means he's starting at least 12 to 15 games in the first 20 games if Robin Leonard does not end up returning to health as soon as we expect him to. And many reports have also stated that Brossoit may be traded before the season even starts to free up some cap space because Vegas is still in a bad cap situation, which would take more pressure off, easily give the nod to Logan Thompson as the second goalie when Robin Leonard does return, as well as if Robin Leonard's not healthy right away, then it's Logan Thompson into Robin Leonard, and then he's still the number 2 guy, or the 1A, 1B, depending on how you like to look at things. Now, Logan Thompson also had the best stats for the team, as mentioned, which kind of shows you that with Robin Leonard's age and Logan Thompson's age and how well the two are playing, that, maybe it's time that you kind of turn over the chips to Logan Thompson. Let it be known that Pete DeBoer was the key reason why Robin Leonard was kept on this Vegas Golden Knights team over Marc-Andre Fleury, and now that Pete DeBoer is no longer here, you have a brand new coach in Cassidy. Maybe they kind of take a look at these stats, take a look at the age and how the rest of the team is set up, and maybe start realizing that maybe it's time that we let a new young guy take over and let Robin Leonard be that number 2 instead, although he is very capable of being the number 1, and I'm a huge fan of Robin Leonard. Due to the injury issues, it may be a good thing to kind of put him in that number 2 spot so that he can be healthy throughout the year to help you when Logan Thompson is tired, or just split the games perfectly even. That's completely fine too. I just think that the load that Robin Leonard has been facing a lot recently has led to more injuries, so splitting reps equally or even giving Logan Thompson the nod a little bit more can lead to a healthy Robin Leonard, which can lead to more games won for the team in total. With the new head coach and Bruce Cassidy, as mentioned, many things are going to change for this defense, and whether that's from how the defense is ran, which zone, man, things like that, how you're going to rotate, block shots, all these sorts of things. With having a very good goalie in Logan Thompson, having a hopefully improved defense with Bruce Cassidy's new system, that will only improve Logan Thompson's percentages and his stats. And although, potentially his save percentage might go down because a better defense might mean less shots directly on net, which means that when shots are on net, they're going to be more difficult shots, and his save percentage might go down. But you also got to expect that his goals against average will also go down because a better defense means less shots actually on the net. So, fair share both ways, but we also got to look and realize that Logan Thompson was saving some pretty crucial and difficult shots during the season, and maybe the reason why he was having some of the goals that go in was because he was tired from having to get all these saves. 30, 40 a game is tough. And Vegas has done a very good job over the past 5 years or so at limiting the number of shots against them, as well as getting a very high number against the other team. So an improved defense will likely lead to better things for the team as a whole, as well as Logan Thompson and or whomever is in net at the current time. And you can also expect more kind of rotations at goalie with DeBoer gone, because DeBoer was kind of the primary reason why we had some questionable decisions going on at the goalie position. Robin Leonard was thrown into the fold right after an injury. Even though Logan Thompson was hot off of 5 wins, Robin Leonard gets kept in there until he gets re-injured. We've hit this note like a million times, so everyone already knows it. But the fact is, Logan Thompson was hot there. Maybe if you keep him in there, let Robin Leonard get to full health, you're in a better scenario to, keep riding the hot hand, hot glove of Logan Thompson, and then when he cools down, he loses the game. Then you put Robin Leonard in, and now Robin Leonard's not injured, and now you have a better chance at the playoffs. Also, I feel like Bruce Cassidy's going to have a better control over keeping a guy in, knowing when to keep a guy in. If someone's starting really slow, it's okay to pull them, and it's nothing against them. It's just keeping the team in it and knowing when to rest guys at the right time. I feel like often, over and over, it was one goalie was just playing too many games in a big stretch, and then they're out. And it was happening over and over again. And luckily, Logan Thompson, who was in that situation, did not get hurt because he was playing those 19 games in like a 30 to 35 game stretch. He did all those games in half of the year with like 8 games in a row that he was the starter for. So it was a good thing that he didn't get injured, and hopefully Pete DeBoer will be able to better manage the goal, or not Pete DeBoer. Bruce Cassidy will be able to better manage the goalie situation better than Pete DeBoer did last year. So, going off the notes here, as you guys can probably realize, I go off notes for stats and just key points so I can kind of keep riffing. But as a whole, Logan Thompson versus Robin Leonard, I think are very equal. And maybe I like Logan Thompson, maybe not better, but as much as I do because of the way he plays. He kind of plays flashy. Robin Leonard at times seems slow, and although he's big and he makes it work for him, I think a flashy goalie at times can energize a team, which is something that I think Vegas has been missing out on. Vegas, which is, the biggest, party town, party place, crazy stuff going on in the U.S., or at least top 5. Maybe they need some energy. And Marc-Andre Fleury brought that. I mean, insane saves all the time, it seemed like. And Logan Thompson kind of showed some flashes of that. So maybe bringing in and starting a flashy goalie like Logan Thompson, or at least someone that's a little bit flashier than Rob Leonard, can energize this team as a whole and energize the fans who will be able to cheer loud for this team. And, especially with the way the team is built now, you have the flashiness on offense and on defense. Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, William Karlsson, Riley Smith, you have all these guys, Jonathan Marchessault, all of these guys that can go out and score for you. Maybe having a guy that you are just as confident in as Rob Leonard, but can have some crazy saves, is going to make the offense be like, hey, we're still in this because this guy's in net for us, making insane saves that no one else should be making. And they'll bring the energy enough to go score, and it'll bring the fans, motivation up. I think that could be a big part of it, not only just looking at the on-ice experience of stats, but also what that does for a team and for just, things occurring are going to happen that maybe wouldn't have happened before just because the energy that those big saves will cause. So, what are your thoughts on this? Should Logan Thompson take that starting spot? Should Robin Leonard and him split equally? Or is Robin Leonard the clear favorite and Logan Thompson only deserves his 20 games or so per year? What do you guys think? I'd love to have a conversation with you guys down below. And as always, if you enjoy this video, please give me a like. It means a lot, helps analytically, and it shows me that you guys want more of this content. It means a lot to me. Also, if you enjoyed this channel, please check out another video and subscribe. It means the world to me. I'm trying to reach 1,000 before the end of the year, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. And I have a lot of great things planned for, the rest of the year, whether that's videos or improvement on the video itself. Getting new things into more highlights, more things like that, and you're not going to be able to see that if you don't subscribe. So please subscribe if you enjoy this content, because it's only going to get better from here. And as always, I hope it taught something today. Hope it made you smile, hope it made you laugh. It's something that's really important to me. Thank someone else's day in a great way, because every single day can be a great day if we all just put in the effort. And I mean every day. It can. And as always, you guys all be safe out there.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that